New on NFL Live, Bucs linebacker Lavonte David has announced his retirement from the NFL after 14 seasons. David stayed in Tampa his entire career, still covered a ton of ground. 1,714 tackles. Only Bobby Wagner has more since David entered the league in 2012. David tied Derek Brooks, there's a name, for most tackles in Bucs history in Week 18 last season. He had 6 tackles and a fumble recovery and a 2-point home win. And it's not just empty calories on these stats. David's a game changer. One of 3 players with 40 career sacks, 10 picks, 20 fumbles recovered. The other 2, Hall of Famers, Ray Lewis and Julius Peppers. And David tied, has the most tackles in Bucs history, mentioned 3 seasons of 40 sacks. A terrific career in Tampa, and he joins us now on NFL Live. We welcome in now former Bucs linebacker Lavonte David, fresh into NFL retirement. Lavonte, when you hear the company you kept in Tampa, Derek Brooks, or all-time, Julius Peppers, Ray freaking Lewis, those stats, that company, what does that mean to you?
Oh, man, it's incredible. The journey I've been on, the path that I've been on, never thought I'd be in the same, atmosphere of those names, but to be able to accomplish that, I'm grateful and I'm honored, man. And I have a ton of respect for those guys. So, obviously, I'm a fan of Derek Brooks. I'm a fan of Ray Lewis. For my name to be mentioned with those guys, man, it's incredible. It's something that I don't take for granted. I'm thankful, and I'm glad what the game has brought towards me.
And with still a very productive 2025 for you, how did you assess the tipping point to say, okay, the career's in the books, time to go to the next chapter, and what do you have planned next?
I believe it's just a mentality thing, man. I played football, since I was 6 years old, and every year I had a mentality to just go out there and just, play the game and dominate and have fun with it. But once the season ended, that kind of mentality kind of like left me. It kind of like just me thinking to myself, okay, do I really, want to continue playing football or, just figure out what's next in my life? You got my whole life is ahead of me, and I'm just looking forward to the next, challenge and, finding my next passion. And, I bought myself enough time to be able to, figure that out. But, I feel like, good things gonna be ahead.
In the 2012 draft, you heard your name called in round 2. Barely had to change the shade of red, going from Nebraska to Tampa.
Right.
You put on that Bucs hat, and you never take it off. You're with one career your entire time. What does it mean to you to have all pros, plural, a Super Bowl ring, and do it with the same franchise for 14 years?
Man, I think it was destiny. I always said, God had a plan for me, and I just stuck with the plan that He put me in this place. Going from Miami and going up to the Midwest to Kansas and then Nebraska, being away from home, being out of Florida for the first time, God had a plan for me, and I just stuck with that plan, and He was able to bless me to be able to come back to the state of Florida and finish my whole career here, play 14 years here. What I'm saying? It's been an incredible journey, incredible time for me. Starting at Fort South Community College, then making my way through Nebraska, and now here. Each level taught me different things about life and different things about football, and I'm grateful for it.
And you're able to win a Super Bowl in the state of Florida. Talk to me about that 2020 season. Tom Brady comes to town. You make the playoffs for the first time, win a Super Bowl on your home field. As a 9th-year vet at that point, what was that season like for you, seeing everything come together?
Man, when we first got the call that Tom was coming, it was crazy. The hype was amazing. Everybody had tremendous hype. We went from to laughed about and to, Super Bowl favorites or Super Bowl contenders. But, obviously then COVID happened and, we had to deal with that thing. But I think that brought us together as a team, and then, obviously, Tom leading the charge, for us to be able to, accomplish the goal after, kind of being down as a program in the past, whatever years, and be able to be at the top of the mountain was incredible. That's something I'm gonna brag about for a long time, and I'm thankful to be a part of that.
And it's fair to say that Super Bowl will be remembered. The season for Tom Brady in Tampa, but the Super Bowl remembered for the performance of you in that Bucs defense. And elsewhere in Tampa this offseason, Lavonte, somebody drafted very high, very early in your tenure there, changes teams for the first time. What's it going to be like for you to see longtime teammate Mike Evans in a 49ers uniform this season?
Yeah, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be kind of odd. But as always, man, me and Mike relationship goes beyond football. And, no matter what, I had his back, when he told me when I found out what was going on, I'll just, root the best for him. You know what I'm saying? Mike gonna be Mike, man. Mike gonna continue to dominate. Mike gonna continue to be the best receiver in this game. And most importantly, man, Mike gonna be the best person that you will ever meet. And I'm sure those guys gonna get a chance to taste that and see that. And kind of, happy for those guys because they get the chance to, see Mike. You know what I'm saying? They get a chance to, really get to know him and they get a chance to see what he brings to the game of football. But it's all love, no matter what, man. Mike is like a little brother to me. For me to be able to watch him grow and build him throughout his football journey, it was incredible to see.
All right, I got to ask because my calendar says March. You're beloved in Lincoln, Cornhusker through and through, but Nebraska no longer just a football school, not just a women's volleyball school. How are you feeling about the men's basketball team's success, getting its first ever tournament wins, and into the Sweet 16 this week?
I was shocked by it. I mean, not shocked, but I was amazed by it. I'm happy for those guys, man. I've seen those guys, get a hot start at the beginning of the season, and for them to, take it this far in the tourney so far, man, it's incredible. Me being in Lincoln and understanding how important, their sports is to those people, man. I know the whole community, the whole state of Nebraska is going crazy. When I watched their first round game, I seen the fans how, it seemed like a home game, and that's what you get out of Nebraska fans, man. That's why I love that place so much. And I'm rooting for those guys, man. I'm rooting for those guys. I'm sure they're going to make it far, and just to keep taking it one game at a time, man.
Well, you're beloved in Lincoln. You're beloved in Tampa. 14 years with the Bucs and a captain for 12 of them. That says what that locker room felt about you as much as anything. Lavonte, congratulations on an exceptional pro career, and all the best in retirement, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. God bless.
Coming up, the Seahawks secure Jackson Smith and Jigba with a huge